David Walsh.
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old.
Okay. How long have you been homeless?
I've been on the streets of Hesperia here for 7 years now.
Is it pretty rough out here?
It's extremely rough out here. I mean, this isn't a place that's, meant to just, for anyone. You have to be pretty strong to be out here on the streets. Code enforcement's taken everything. I mean, from even children's pictures to my driver's license.
Do you ever have any chance of getting that stuff back?
No, we don't get any chance to get that back. They don't even let us know where they take our property. Code enforcement is worse than the police department. I could say that code enforcement has a vendetta against the homeless, I would think. A few months back, I set up my camp, and I mean, I'm away from everybody. I'm not even near homes or even near anybody's property. I'm just out in the desert, and they literally come out there and they'll four-wheel drive their trucks out there and just take everything you have. And I've had to walk away with no shoes.
That's terrible. Do you get the money to get food or eat or do anything like that?
I do odds and end jobs. I hustle up, whatever I can do. I mean, I have my wife's also out there with me, and she does what she can. I do what I can, but it's kind of rough to find food out here because a lot of these businesses and stuff like that throw out such good stuff, and they just can't donate it to us, or maybe even set a little basket out,
Mm-hmm.
But it's really rough.
Do you have any kids yourself?
I do. I actually have I have 3 children, 16, 10, and we're gonna be 4.
Okay. Do they know you're out here homeless?
They do. My son does. My other 2 don't. They're too young to understand, so I'd rather them not to know too much about that. I don't want them to feel upset or get, Yeah, I haven't talked to my parents in 7 years. I don't even know. They all live out here in the high desert. I just choose not to speak with them. They did some pretty shady things, and so I keep that. That to me is you shouldn't have done the things that you did, but also I take responsibility for what I've done. I just think it's hard for them to take responsibility for what they've done. I lived in pretty much like the ghetto of Fontana.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was raised by, pretty much the streets out there. The younger ones that are growing up now, it's just, they need to keep their head in the game. It's just, they don't want to end up like this, A lot of us out here, even though that we are homeless, we still try to address the best to our ability. So we are like still, citizens of the streets, but we're also, citizens of our community too. And so a lot of us do, try to keep our appearance up to date, and even though we don't have the money for maybe the designer sunglasses, but we do, we do try to keep our appearance.
Take pride.
So, take pride in where we're at, Like a lot of the times they won't even let you inside the store, or if they know that you're hanging around a crowd, even if you're not homeless and you're hanging around a crowd of homeless people, a lot of the store owners will follow you around. I mean,
So have you judged before you?
It's before you even get to step your foot in the door, and it's kind of overwhelming, I mean, I do my best. I try to keep my appearance up because at any time anybody could offer me something, a job, it could be whatever it is. Of course I'm going to take it, but I mean, appearance is everything, when it comes to a boss. And then when I have started working for him and I've explained to him that I am homeless, it seems like maybe the next day I'm not working there, It's just because they're worried that I might not make it to work one day, or I may have a pungent scent,
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of drugs out here. A lot of the kids out here are getting a little over themselves, And there's some new drugs that just have shown up here, and those kids are really getting over their heads in that.
Yeah.
Definitely a reckless thing, and they're just out of control. And I wish I could do more. I'd rather people come up and talk to me because I'd like to give more, advice on maybe to the younger group, because I'd rather not anybody leave me alone at all. I'd rather just tell everybody what kind of story I have and explain anything. Maybe it'll help somebody, You don't have to, because I came from a home where like I didn't have PlayStation or I didn't have Nintendo. I had to be outside riding my bike, in when it was dark, you know.
Actually playing.
Actually playing, yeah. I mean, you know, drinking out of a water hose.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's some things that these kids just forget about, you know. I mean, and I wish that would have been instilled in them a little bit more, you know. You need to like push yourself to become a, you know, a person of society, you know. And these people out here are just, they don't give us a chance. You know, they don't give us that opportunity to show our true colors, you know. I worked I mean, to be off the street and then, you know, pull myself out of this rut, to have code enforcement just take it because
They can.
just because they can. And I mean, I lost everything I had. I mean, everything from childhood photos to my wedding rings, you know.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And it's
It
not,
sucks.
it does suck, but I mean, hey, we just step it up and, you know, start all over. I mean, how many times, I don't know if they understand, how many times could we all start over? Now, what I'm hearing is that they're offering the homeless a one-way ticket out of the high desert
To where?
to the streets of somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know what I see some of the stuff they're offering and I'm thinking, what is the point? Like, what are you doing?
I think that what you're saying, the hand up, you know, not hand out, I think that's a great way to put it, you know, in reality, because if you look at it, they're only handing us right back out to the streets. So then they're gonna see us again in a month, 2 days, whatever it is, wherever we end up, wherever we land at, after they take everything from us. I mean, I think a lot, so some of the businesses out here that do help us out, that do understand where we're at, and that do, you know, feed us and give us a little, you know, a little extra help. I mean, a little help can take dramatic change in somebody's life. It can, just a little bit. And that's kind of where, like, I see, you know, most of all of our homeless friends out here, they just need that little bit of help. I mean, just that little bit, and then we could all gain and grow together instead of apart. And the community here is just out of control. I mean, when it comes to the homeless, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm going to help out and do my best that I can to promote whatever I can to help out the homeless. And I see a lot of these youngsters out here. They're putting themselves in positions that could be avoided. And I could tell you at least 10 of my friends have committed suicide or have died here in the high desert because of being homeless and feeling that they're not wanted or welcome or anything like that. And their parents live right down the street. And I mean, maybe they made bad choices and their parents are upset with them, but that's understandable. I mean, they can get by it, but some of these kids can't. They take it to a whole new level. And so that's what I try to instill in a lot of the homeless up here. Whatever I could do, I would want them to come ask me, and I'll go out of my way to do it. The youngest one I've seen out here was 11 years old, and their parents up and just moved.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's still out here. I don't know where he's at. I haven't seen him in a minute, but he's 11 years old. He lives out here. I took him with me. He stayed with me for about 3 months, and I mean, you know, 11-year-old is 11-year-old, you know, and I'm a father, and I know how 11-year-olds are. They want to go do what they want to do. But this kid was very mature for being 11. And so I could tell that he had been through a lot in his life.
That's terrible to be
He
on
kind of
your
told me a
own.
little bit about his story, and I wouldn't want to exploit that out. But,
Right, no, I understand.
He's an amazing young man, and he's going to do big things, but not out here. There's no way.
That's horrible I mean, any human at all that would have to live on the streets, or we don't know what anyone's circumstances are. No, none of us are better than anyone else, but a child, that's horrible to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not, I mean, without protection, without any, I mean, they can't fight a man or anything if they had to defend themselves. I mean, that's horrible to hear a child.
And the thing is that young man didn't even look like he was 11 years old. He looked like he was 18, because the streets have, whatever he had been through in his past has aged that child. And I was shocked when actually I found out how old he was. I mean, he was already smoking, you know, he was already doing things that he shouldn't have been doing, drinking. And it was very hard, it was overwhelming to see that. And then when I found out his real true age, I
That's
was
heartbreaking.
dumbfounded. Yeah, and I was like, there's no way. I mean, that's a big gap, but that's what the street has done to him. Is it has caused him to look almost twice his age, and it's very very it's hard to even swallow, you know.
I'm in shock. I can't even imagine that.
I mean, I couldn't even either. I mean, my son was a goofball, and you know, he was doing, you know, kid things. This kid is doing adult things.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Terrible to hear.
Very
Wow.
terrible. I'm gonna say it. I dumpster dive. It's something that I find. It's something to me. It's fascinating, kind of.
It's fascinating what people will throw
What
away.
they throw away, exactly. I mean, I have found from guns to money to a body.
Really?
Oh yeah, not one. I mean, there's been a couple of them. To
How do you come across something like that? What do you do? I mean,
you just tell the local, you know, law enforcement, and they'll take it from there. About 2 years ago, that's what I did. I let the local law enforcement know, and I don't know what happened from there because we didn't see a crime scene.
so you just went up on a dumpster or something?
Yeah, there was somebody, and I'm not saying that they didn't do their job or I don't know. I didn't stick around really to find out. But yeah, I mean, I found money. I mean, the first thing I did was everybody thinks, oh, you're gonna just, you know, spend it, and no, actually I gave it and took care of the homeless community as much as I could. You know, I bought cases of water. So I mean, whatever I could do to keep my people and help them out and make sure that they clean up after themselves, you know. But here's the thing, code enforcement, when they come and take your stuff, they only take your possessions. They don't take anything else. And that's what I don't understand. If there's such code enforcement and they're there to help, you know, keep the desert, you know, picked up and clean, but why only take our prized possessions, our bicycles, our tents, our backpacks? Why do they
Your
take our
survival
clothes,
gear.
our survival gear? They leave us with nothing. They've made me walk away just with whatever was in my backpack, which was tools, and no shoes. And it was in the summertime.
How is that even legal?
I don't get it. I don't know how the county of San Bernardino hasn't been able to understand that they're doing this, and it is illegal, very much so. And they have no ifs, ands, or buts. You don't get nothing. They got that much time to go and mess with the homeless people and take their things. Then they should have enough time to hire us.
That's a good idea.
Hire us. We'll pick it up for you. You know. And the thing is that they're out there saying, "Oh, look what the mess you guys made." I've had them actually literally say, "Look what you guys have done to this desert." Well, I mean, that's a petrified piece of watermelon out there. You know, I obviously haven't been here that long. You know, so I mean, I kind of get overwhelmed and a little irritated with them because they truly do treat us terribly. I do not understand why like people do that. I think they really need to do something about to help us out. There's so much property up here. There's so many people that I know that said, well, I wish I could just set up a homeless little encampment or whatever. I understand the bathrooms and stuff like that, and you know, definitely there's drug use and stuff like that. I understand that, but that's just one step away from helping us to get away from all that, and nobody realizes it. It's that simple. It's just I wish we had more help out here. I've seen it get worse over the last, I think, 2 years. I mean, I've seen the homeless go from just a handful of us to overpopulating the high desert, and it's not. It's a lot of the problem is it's our fault. You know, it is our fault. But we are human too. You know, we're not out there to just make havoc and create problems. It's just some of our stories are different, and you know, this is the card we are dealt. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I never expected to be out here ever in my life. Did I ever expect to be out here? And I'm here now, and I'm doing the best I can to get out of it. I'm trying daily to find ways to pull myself from it. I love being around people, and I love talking to people. My wife, she loves speaking too. She actually had a very good career coming. She was real close to being a criminal defense attorney, and we ended up out on the street. And now we're just trying to just pull ourselves out of it. The best thing to do is not whine, complain about it. Just make the best of what it is. That's all we can do.
And I think you were mentioning something earlier about maybe wanting to keep kids from going down that path, maybe being homeless too, like you're down right now, but you're not out. You're trying to do something to help.
I'm just like everybody
Give
else.
back.
You know, I mean, even though I'm less fortunate to where I lay my head, doesn't mean that I'm any different than anybody else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.